Good morning, children. Welcome back to the science class. Now we are going to discuss a new matter, that is the animal eating plants, the insect eating plants. You might have learned about the animals which eat on other animals, isn't it? So what we are calling them? Yes, they are named as carnivores, isn't it? The animals which eat on other animals are known as carnivores. So what do we call them? The plants eating on other insect. Yes, they are carnivorous plants or the insectivorous plants. They are carnivorous plants or the insectivorous plants. Good morning, children. Welcome back to the science class. So today we have to conclude our second chapter, Adaptations in Plants. Now we are going to discuss a new type of plants. Did you ever hear that a plant is eating other insect? The plant which is eating other insect. You might have learned about the animal which is eating other animals, isn't it? Animals which eat on other animals. What we are calling them? Yes, they are the carnivores. They are the carnivores. So there are certain plants which eat on other animals like small insect, and they are named as insectivorous plant or carnivorous plant. Insectivorous plant or carnivorous plant. So what is mean by insectivorous plant? Yes, the plant which eat on other insect are known as insectivorous plant and carnivorous plant. So here we have to discuss the Venus flytrap and the pitcher plant. In this class we have to discuss about the carnivorous plants like Venus flytrap and pitcher plant. Let me remind you one more thing. There are some giant pitcher plant which is eaten some other rat and mice also. Actually this pitcher plant or Venus flytrap or any other insectivorous plants not only eating the small insect. Then what? Yes, they are eating some small animals like mice or rats, and these plants are growing in the Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia. So let us discuss about Venus flytrap and pitcher plant with the pictures. In this we can see two types of insectivorous plants. They are Venus flytrap and one is pitcher plant. Could you see the Venus flytrap? Yes, it has two leaf-like structure and there is a hinge. So what happens? This leaf-like structure will be closed. Then what about the pitcher plant? There is a part like this and a lid on the top which can cover the mouth of the part. So let us discuss. Yes, the Venus flytrap has long hair like edges. Could you see the hair like portions here? What happens? Yes, if an insect came to this, if an insect touches to this area, these entire leaves will be closing by trapping the insect inside the Venus flytrap. Inside the Venus flytrap, what happens? If an insect touches the hair-like area, the two leaves of the Venus flytrap will be snapping by making the insect inside this plant. Then, could you see this picture plant? Yes, if an insect is coming to this area, if an insect is touching to the mouth of a Venus flytrap, the lid will be closing by making the insect inside the pitcher plant, so they can easily eat the insect. Why? Oh, we all know that majority of the plants are making their own food, isn't it? So why these plants are having this type of insect? You might thinking about it, isn't it? So let us discuss. We all know that the plants needs nutrients, water, isn't it? So the plants are absorbing the nutrients which is needed for their growth. So these type of insectivorous plants are living in an area where there is poor the availability of nitrogen. What happens? What we have said? Yes, the area which the insectivorous plants are very poor in availability of nutrients such as nitrogen. The plants need nitrogen for their growth. The plants need nitrogen for their growth. So they are not getting the enough amount of nitrogen from the soil because they poor in their nutrients. So what they are doing, or so how they are adapted to live in such area? Yes. So they eat the insect, or they are adapted to get the nitrogen by eating the insect. So with this we have to conclude this chapter. Anyway, let us revise what we have discussed. Let us discuss what we have discussed in this chapter. Our chapter name is Adaptations in Plants. What is meant by adaptation is the process of changing oneself to suit the natural surrounding is known as adaptations. So we have discussed many habitats, isn't it? Anyway, let us discuss about terrestrial plants. What is meant by terrestrial plants? What is mean by terrestrial plants? Yes, the plants which live on land are called terrestrial plants. And these terrestrial plants we have discussed it. How many habitats we have discussed it? Yes, the plants on mountains or hills, then desert, plains, grassland and marsh area. 5 types of habitats we have discussed it. Anyway, what are the adaptations of a plant to live in mountain or hill? Yes, they have conical shape, then slopy branches and needle-like leaves to slide off the snow easily. And one more thing we have discussed it, they are not shedding their leaves in an year, isn't it? They are evergreen plants and they are not shedding their leaves. Then we have discussed about the plants on plains. Which are the examples? Gulmohar, peepal, coconut tree and all. How they are adapted to plains? Actually the plain is a very hot area. Then how they are adapted to? Yes, if the climate is hot, what happens? The entire water from the plant will be goes by evaporation or transpiration, isn't it? The entire water from the plant will be lost by the process of transpiration. To avoid this, how these plants are adapted? Yes, these plants are adapted how they are shedding their leaves once in a year. They are shedding all their leaves once in a year, and in summer the new leaves are coming out. Then we have discussed about the plants in desert. What is that specialty or how they are adapted? Yes, they don't have leaves. They don't have leaves. Then photosynthesis is taking place in their stem. Then what about their roots? Yes, their roots are buried underground so they can absorb each bit of water. Then we have discussed about grassland. What is the specialty? Yes, after the rain during the winter or summer, what happens? The entire grassland will be dry up. So after the one more specialty of that place is they get only very less water. So once the rainfall came, the new grass will be grown out. Then we have discussed about marshy area. Mangroves, do you remember? Yes, the mangroves are the plants which are growing in the marshy area. What is the specialty of marshy area? Yes, there is a plenty of water and the soil is a type of clay type soil. Then how these plants are adapted to live in marshy area? Yes, the roots of the mangroves are growing upward. Isn't it? The roots of the mangroves are growing upward to get the air from surrounding. Isn't it? Then what? So the terrestrial habitats was over. Then we have discussed about aquatic plants. Aquatic plants. So in this session we have discussed about three types of aquatic plants, which are the floating plants, then floating plants, fixed aquatic plants, floating aquatic plants, and submerged or underwater plants. Floating plants, fixed plants, underwater plants. What is the feature of floating plants? They have spongy like, isn't it? They freely float on the surface of water. They have spongy air-filled parts that help them to float. Then, what about fixed plant? What is the example of fixed plant? Lotus and water lily. What is their specialty? Yes, their roots are fixed to the soil under the water, soil or sand under the water, and they have long hollow stem which allows the leaves to float in the water. Then we have discussed about underwater plants. Then today we have discussed about insectivorous plant. Insectivorous plants. What are insectivorous plants? Yes, the plants which eat on other animals, other insects are known as insectivorous plants. And we have discussed about Venus flytrap and the pitcher plant. Why these plants are eating other insects? Yes, the area which this plant is living is very poor in nutrition. So they need nitrogen for their growth. So for getting the nitrogen, they are eating the insect. Then we have discussed about how Venus trap and pitcher plant is trapping their insect inside their body. Then we told that there are some giant pitcher plants in Southeast Asia which can eat or which can trap small rices and rats also. So with this session we are finishing this chapter and we have to conduct a discussion about the exercise questions that we will be discussing in the very next class. Hope you understood the topic. Thank you. Have a nice day.